Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings and salutations. Another episode of Fangs up here, and I just realized I got a really bad habit of chewing ice. Like, I'm not as bad as my wife, but I do realize me and the ice. Yeah. So, but before we get started, big shout out to HBCU Digital Network. This is home. Also, shout out to the Black Techies, Herb Seward, and his cast of characters over there, here to help you out with the newest, latest, and greatest in technology. And I'm telling you, man, look, Herb's a plug, man. He's gonna tell you, hey, within your budget, hey, you do what you do. We sometimes we go a little over, so don't judge me on that. I'm trying to get my little Nike slides right, So I just you gotta have your good and comfortables on. But as we prepare, man, if you're a FAMU football fan, it's been a great week. But if you're a FAMU fan in general, it's the time. In the words of Martin Luther King, now is the time. And we are definitely asking you, next 2 days, FAMU Day of Giving, donate, give a little love to the orange and green. I definitely intend to do a little bit tomorrow. I'm gonna wait till I get my hair cut though. I want to be cute when I send my money, so I had to miss my barber the other day, it was my fault. So it was something I ate, just one day I was like, nah, I can't do that. But tomorrow, man, I'm looking forward to getting lined up, hang out with the boys a little bit. So, but man, this weekend, it's a big weekend for FAMU athletics as far as because we're in competition. Like we're in a good position as far as being able to compete for championships. And this is one of the things we're seeing at FAMU. We are building champions. And we're not just talking about it, we're being about it. And you're seeing that our AD, she's fully committed to it and she stated such. And I'll let her drop her little, or not little, but drop her nuggets there. Let you know that she is committed to this program and she's here to see FAMU do some things. And I'm just telling y'all, if you haven't met AD Sykes yet, you should. She's really, really cool lady, really down to earth. And look, she's cool for a joke or two. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, messing with her every once in a while. And I'm not funny. I'm more of the sarcastic guy. And she just rolls with the punches, kind of chuckles as like this guy. But I'm never I don't pick her or anything. So, because she's fly. I ain't gonna lie. Sister girl always be fly. Yeah. Shoe game's on point. But FAMU baseball, man, got a little series going against Mississippi Valley State. And another one that you need to sweep this team. This is not a series where you need to be up there half-stepping. In the words of the old song, ain't no half-stepping. And no, it's not the Funky Bunch. It's the Rattlers. We are here to try to get this W. I want to win. But I also want to make sure that as we head into the conference tournament and as we start to prepare for that last push of baseball season before it kind of gets to where we start talking tournament, that we have a good seed. We kind of saw the importance of having a higher seed and how that benefits you. I think FAMU can really make some noise. We definitely have some competition. Our best competition is probably Bethune, maybe Jackson State. But those are two programs that are facilities-wise a little above you. I'll say as far as BCU on the baseball side, that facility is better than more Kittles. I mean, it's not worlds better, but it's better. I mean, it's just saying, if I'm being honest about it. But we have the games. Tomorrow's game is at 5. Then you have a game at 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. So we'll see. But we've noticed a lot of these games, especially on Saturdays, we're supposed to be getting rid of these doubleheaders. But it looks like if they see that the weather may be bad, they just go ahead and get a doubleheader in. And honestly, I love the approach that I would much rather, if we can, Friday, single game, Saturday, doubleheader, Sunday, go home. Just because it's a little taxing on the student athletes as far as all that extra, but I think as a program, it may benefit them. I could be wrong. That's on the fan side of part. That's not from the college experience player. I didn't play college ball, but I'm just thinking logistically, whatnot, it would be nice. Now, as far as and going back to baseball, we did play UF. I didn't talk about it because we lost, and I told you I wasn't going because about the time I would have left, we were right there. Like FAMU was close to UF for a while. Now it ends up not being as close, but again, that's an hour and a half. I wasn't going to make, but the game was on the SEC network, and it's good exposure, and that goes back to my criticism of the SWAC. We need a network. I'm not going to stay on that soapbox for long. But the SWAC needs a network where you can show all of your baseball games. Because if you go back right now, look at the grill. They're showing those SWAC basketball games. Like, season's over. And they're pulling from the archives like, yep, let's just play that one. The SWAC network could do the same thing. You can literally pull from the football archive, have an entire either month or a couple of weeks of SWAC football. And you can run through your 12 teams. 12 teams, and you could do it for 4 weeks. I mean, you may not want to do 12 because that's a lot. But if you want to just do like one day, you could at least get 2 weeks out of that. 3. So if you can get 3 weeks out of that, that's a lot of content. And think if you sprinkle in baseball, softball, bowling, golf. Just gonna say, you're missing the mark. Now, I did mention softball. We got BCU and something came up. I did get approved for that one, but we'll see. The facilities, it is what it is. It's like a city park, but we did have some things come up. So I might not make that one, but I definitely, if I can, I will. Daytona is not that bad of a drive, and we have game 1 tomorrow at 3. Not gonna make that. I'll still be at work. But on Saturday and Sunday, those 2 games are at 1:00, and that's an opportunity for us to actually beat a decent team. I'm just gonna say this about BCU. That's a program of overachievers. If you consider the facilities that they have, that's a program that operates as an overachiever. I'm just saying. If you look at down the street, you look at what Emory Riddle has, Daytona State College has, Cookman doesn't have that. And if they did, man, I'm just saying, if they could ever get their stuff together, like fully as an athletic program, man, considering what they do and what they have, yeah, that could be a problem. Just gonna say that. But softball game against BCU, and it is at Sunny Lane Park in Daytona. And man, I don't know what y'all do about that parking though. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little scared. I don't scare easy, but I was looking, I'm like, well, I'll park my car so it don't get hit by softball. And I'm like, I don't know. That's kind of my hesitation a little bit, but I also had something that did come up. So now the golf team, something about FAMU men's sports, man. We are catching the business. I almost said catching the devil. Getting out of second place. FAMU, like, we can get second place, and that's like our glass ceiling in men's sports. The women's teams have championships. Again, 2 times for the volleyball team. You just saw the tennis team get a regular season. But that second place is just that ceiling that we can't get over. And FAMU men's golf went to the SWAC championship and got second. I'm glad. I'm proud of it though. Like that's something. Top three. I'm here for it. But man, I definitely wanted to win that one. But I will say the winners were Arkansas Pine Bluff, and for me, that's good. That's good on them. That creates a little parity in the conference. How you doing, Miss Williams? But I want that. I want parity to a certain degree. I want parity when it benefits me. Let me say that. I don't want parity when I don't get to benefit. Hey, let's just be honest about that. I want some parity in the conference when FAMU finishes in first place. Always. But I don't want parity and we in last. Oh, heck no. I don't want that. And that's just being honest. Like we tell people we want parity a lot, but most of y'all are fans of dynastic teams. Even myself. My favorite baseball team is not a dynasty, but growing up, I was an Atlanta Braves fan. I'm still a Dallas Cowboy fan. Like a lot of y'all Laker fans, like there's a reason they show certain teams because a lot of us follow them. And then the SWAC, you got 3 teams, maybe 4, that are really the teams that you want. You want that. You want FAMU, you want Jackson State, and you want Southern. Sometimes Grambling. But those are your teams that you really want. And again, FAMU finishes second, and it's always great. Ooh, I'm gonna show that just in case y'all see. I can see Cowboys for life. I'm not telling you, that's my team. It's the Cowboys and the Bucks, but yeah, I was a Cowboy fan first. But again, we got second, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. I can deal with it. I'm looking forward though next season to getting first, and congratulations to Pine Bluff because a lot of times we kind of look at Pine Bluff and sometimes Valley as, hey, they're just here. They're here for us to stack wins. And their program just said, hey, no, we got a championship. So that's something that's good on them. Now, y'all see Miss Williams here. If y'all don't know, Miss Williams is also a tennis coach. FAMU Tennis tomorrow, SWAC Championships for the #1 seed, regular season SWAC champion, Florida A&M University Rattlers. And tell you, man, we trying to do more with more. Tomorrow they're going to be in New Orleans. They're going to try to make it look easy. And we also, if I haven't seen, we're trying to build some things here. So I'm going to let AD Sykes tell y'all a little bit better than me, though.
I'm hoping we can get more donors than ever and more dollars than ever donated to the Rattler Athletic Fund as part of our 1887 Strikes campaign to really support the student athlete experience. There are a number of things I want to do to enhance the feel and the look of their locker rooms. That's their home base. Provide additional scholarship dollars so that our student athletes can graduate at a faster pace and just really improve the overall experience of Rattler Athletics.
All right. As you can see, I didn't get to shoot my 1887 thing. I did ask, like, can I show hers? But because FAMU is actually trying to do something. Like I'm just saying, a lot of times we like where my dollars went, where is this going? And unfortunately, a lot of us don't get to go into the field house to see it. But if you look at the field house and compare it to what it was a decade ago, it ain't the same field house. I mean, it was really cool to kind of be in there post game and see some of the athletes be like, former athletes, like, oh, this wasn't this big. The locker room was nothing like this. And to kind of see like, okay, so you got the uniform over there. Like it's for its size. It's a nice facility. That's another soapbox. We're not going to do that. But it is nice for what it is. And you can definitely see where we're getting some production. And the recruits are seeing it too. Like I'm just saying, I told you it was hot out there, and but that orange and green looked nice. I'm just saying, like this wasn't even with like this was like a little. I ain't gonna lie, this was like a little Nikon point and shoot, pretty much, like just cheap digital camera. But you can see like that orange was popping, in the green. Oh man, look at that, Just and you can see the attendance like that side. I was purposeful on this one. And then you can see, look, that was a little bit later. It was hot. But you can see, all right, get the ball. We see you. The Rattlers have been in the weight room and in the gym, but they've also been on the recruiting ground. Telling you, man, it's a good feeling, man. I don't know how do I. Yeah, that's about it. I ain't gonna lie. Coach hit a home run on this one twice. Like we got two of them, and look, y'all. I'm just saying. Look, I know y'all wasn't ready for that cut in, cut out, but shoot, man, we got some horses coming in. Like, FAMU needs a kicker. Full disclosure. Coach Simmons has stated that he's looking for a kicker. We lost a kicker. We lost my guy. I thought Brooks was coming back. Coach Simmons, he corrected me, and I was like, I was on round one with my man's, and we were on his podcast there, St. Clair, and it's the St. Clair. I was like, I asked a question. I'm like, yeah, what's up with the kicker? Da da da. You got Brooks coming back, and Coach Simmons like, yeah, he's not coming back. I'm like, oh, shoot, my bad. We're actually looking for a kicker. We got some guy, and hopefully we get him. Like, it's kicker from Stetson that came in, and one of the things, and I've mentioned this before, when you're talking about Stetson and those kind of schools, one thing FAMU can offer that those schools can't: money. We talk about FAMU being a low resource institution, but our students get scholarships. You got dudes at Stetson that play football that leave in debt, and that's a Division I football program. That ain't Division II, Division III, none of that. They're D1, and they're leaving with debt. That's not what you do, especially when you can go up to FAMU, high Seven Hills, and leave and not have debt. So we got two locked in. So I'm gonna hit McCody first. McCody Roberson, 6'3", 315. I believe this pronunciation is Pflugerville, Texas. And this dude is a all academic WAC player. And he's a defensive lineman. I think he's partially there for depth, but I think he's also there to give you that extra guy. I mean, if you've not heard, at times some of our D linemen get hurt. And one's really good on a defensive line where sometimes players do get hurt is to have a little bit of depth. And especially somebody who's got a little bit of experience, who's played at a decent level. And let's call it what it is. He gets a game in Texas this year. One of the benefits of being in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, if you haven't noticed, FAMU's recruiting has improved as far as us being able to recruit players from Texas. He's not the only one. I mean, FAMU may have multiple starters, even especially on defense, from the state of Texas. And that's a direct correlation with the fact that, hey, you might not play all your games at home, but you may get a few of them. And you're seeing that. You got Moore. Now we got Roberson, both Texas natives, and that are pushing to start in its depth. But the other thing that you're going to notice with both of our transfers, they're both all academic and honor roll guys. So that's something else that was an open question that a lot of us asked. I know I asked, was if we're bringing players in, how are they going to affect our APR? Right? What's that going to look like? Because that fiasco from last year can't happen again. That was some bull. But you're able to see that we learn lessons from it. And sometimes we look at a problem or a situation and we're so busy being critical that we're not able to see that it was a place to grow from. And that was definitely that. That was something that this athletic program grew from. And it stated that we're not going to have happen again. You got an AD who's great with compliance. And you got coaches that have said, nah, I can't do that. I probably lost the game because of that. So we're seeing that. And I'm just saying, it's going to be an interesting thing because there's some more offensive defensive line are going to be points of emphasis. You probably may look at a receiver or two just because the transfer portal is open and you're going to have some out there. But again, I've been told when I asked a coach or two, and they said we're looking at the offensive defensive line. Now the other guy we got, just saying, look, Cardell Thomas, 6'3", 350, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, LSU transfer, and he actually went to Southern Lab, which is like FAMU DRS. And he's at his time at LSU, he's been a backup, but he's also made academic honor roll while he's been at LSU. So he's coming here, and I think some of this is where, if you're looking at your comparison to another FAMU athlete, it's probably gonna be Jalen Goss. Like, look at what Goss was at Florida State. Look how, especially some pundits kind of were like, yo, he's not very good. He's not ACC quality, all this other stuff. And he comes to FAMU and like, okay, struggle for a little bit, not for long. And now he is somebody that you're looking at like, that's one of our most important players. I think Cardell comes in and at 6'3", 350, I think is a guard just because that size. And woe betide if that man gets his hands on you, because that's a big dude. Like, I'm sorry, 6'3", 350. Oh yeah. Let's just say what that is. That's a big boy. Yeah. I don't know what he benching, but it's more than me. But you got to start to realize, like, FAMU is not playing about these trenches. Like, one of the things, and I even asked, was how did I asked it on the show with the ONG Strike Zone that I was able to join with them. How has watching North Carolina Central, South Carolina State, and other programs in the MEAC at times whip the SWAC on the interior affect how you've recruited and how you've anticipated what the season is? Let's just call it what it is. I don't have no cards. Otherwise, I throw them in the air or throw some dice. But FAMU's all in. Like, the chips are all in. Like, we're not playing for no freaking playoffs. We're not playing for anything but the Celebration Bowl. Look at the way the roster is built. Look at the way the schedule is built. FAMU is going for broke. And it's boom or bust. Because honestly, behind Musa is Junior. Junior's solid. He's a pretty good quarterback. He's grown. But you got Musa at quarterback. You got Jamari Shareed. You got Manigo. I'm just saying. You got Kobe Gross. Like, look at the transfers that FAMU has brought in. Look at the guys that FAMU has developed. And when you start looking at that, you realize it's boom or bust. FAMU is not really playing that game of we're going to be lobbying for some playoffs. I doubt it. I mean, if you have to, you will. But if we're all going to be honest about it, FAMU athletics, especially football-wise, it's Atlanta or nothing. Like, it is the story of many Southerners. All roads lead to Atlanta. And if you don't go to Atlanta, the season was a failure. And that's not even my mindset. That's not my outlook. But when I look at the way we've recruited and the way FAMU has built itself up, it's Atlanta or bust. Look at FAMU's focus on the line. Look at how FAMU has said, receiver-wise, we're good. Because we brought in some guys last year that didn't play. Remember, the receiver for Virginia State didn't play. Willoyd last year didn't really play. Like, you're starting to see where FAMU's made some moves, and there's some guys on and off the roster that I'm just saying, when I looked at my spring roster, I didn't see Tevin Griffey on there. And he was a huge special teams player. I mean, I didn't get to ask what happened with that. It's a good question. You lost a kicker. Like, those are some scholarships that are now open and now available that we're turning into linemen. So why are you turning them into linemen? Because at a certain point, you're planning on running the ball. And that was something Coach Simmons stated that was a problem last year. We didn't run the ball very well. And I'm just saying, if you don't know, it's the ATL or bust. We trying to go to the dome. We trying to go to the Benz. Not the Yoda, not the Cadillac. It's to the Benz. And if FAMU don't make it to the Benz, it's over. If you don't make it to the Benz, this season didn't happen. And let's just call it what it is. Like, look at the way FAMU is building itself, developing itself, and look at some of the ways that FAMU is planning to push itself forward. Look at the ways that FAMU is running camps, and not a lot of HBCUs that are really doing that. Like, it's not. You got 7-on-7 camps. You got big man camps. You got like camps, and it's gonna be hot. But they're doing something. We're gonna have another camp. It's gonna be further in South Florida this year. It's supposed to be in Fort Lauderdale, I believe. I'll double check. Like, again, FAMU is preparing itself and running a program that is trying to win the Celebration Bowl. You can keep your national championship. We come for the money. And that's all we're here for. If it ain't about the money, in the words of T.I., you know the rest. Like, FAMU is seriously pushing for a trip to the dome. And it's dome or bust. But it starts in the trenches. And don't be surprised if FAMU adds another 2-3 guys, especially to the offensive line, maybe to the interior line as well, because our defensive ends are scary. But now you're talking about adding that 6'3", 315 next to General Hunt. And General Hunt's like 5'11", maybe 6 feet. But he's got a lot of that Aaron Donald in him. So you got a dude that's like 280, 270, but violent hands, got a motor on him. And you put him with a 6'3", 315. Where you going to run the ball? Is you going to run the ball? Because now that guy is probably going to clog up the gaps. Like, that's like a 3-4 defensive tackle. Like, that you're now sticking into a system where we run 2 tackles. Thank God we dropped the 3-4. So I'm just saying, y'all, it's some excitement on the highest of 7 hills. Again, y'all know I don't be taking too much of time. Like, but I'm excited. I'm ready for it. And we're going to, kind of see what this tennis program does, how we handle the success. Also, the baseball program, we're back at 500, but we lost to the Gators. The Gators are a top 15 team. They were 15 last week. They're probably going to the College World Series. And I said it about Florida State. Can I be honest? Florida State's not making the tournament. Them boys suck. I watched that game against UNF for a little minute. I was like, man, I'm giving up on this. Them guys trash. And I'm a fan. But it what it is. FAMU Golf, we finished in second place. For some reason, FAMU men's team, it's we got the Fangs up. And it's 2 Fangs. But we can't get out of second place. Like, that's our glass ceiling right now. We got to bust through that. FAMU Tennis, again, tomorrow. SWAC Championships in the Big Easy. Let's hope they bring home a little something. And then the football team, got 2 signings, both on the line. One on the offense and one on defensive line. I'm telling you, it's going to be some havoc. I love my boy Josh, and I love how much he talking up North Carolina Central. I ain't going to talk that trash today. But when we get to the Benz, that's going to be some fun. And that's not to overlook anybody on our schedule. That's an if. That's not a win. So, you got to make sure you respect who you got, because the Alabama State game was tough last year. Southern game was closer than some of y'all thought. And that first game of the season down in Miami, them boys in the sun. Yeah. Jackson State's in the sun this year. And I ain't going to lie. Willie Simmons might be a better man than me because I'm petty. I might wear all white for that game. Let them wear the home colors in that sun. anyway. So it's evil, but at least I'm honest about it. But that being stated, big shout out to HBCU Digital Network. This is home. Appreciate Herb Sue and the Black Techies, man. You know, they be over there. Look, you see, we got a little new technology. We try to do. We don't just talk about it. We bees about it. I bees about it, in the words of T.I. Look, that's 2 T.I. references. You don't get that very much. I'm just saying, everybody don't listen to the King of South like I do. So we've gone front to back and side to side. That's how real. Never mind. I can't say the rest. It's a family show. But as always, y'all, big shouts outs, and it's always going to be Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal.
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic